All right, there we go. There we go. I think we good now. Give me 1 second. I'm experimenting with this new mic, so I messed around and hit mute. So hold up. All right, now how we sounded? We sounded good. All right, cool. Yeah, I messed around and hit mute, man. Experimenting with this new mic. Got me pressing buttons. All right, what's going on, y'all, man? Hopefully y'all having a peaceful Wednesday. All right. All right, we back on there. I don't know why this mother keep muting me, man. All right, y'all can hear me now? All right, cool, man. I think, matter of fact, I think that's Big Brother playing with me, man, because I ain't pressed that mute button that time. Somebody did that. I swear to you, ain't press it. That's the powers that be. They trying to stop this conversation. That's the feds, man. The feds on this YouTube pressing buttons, because that time I didn't do that. Now the first time I did that. So they trying to stop me. They trying to prevent me from being great. Here it go. All right, but like I said, man, diving into today's topic. What's going on down the sea? Diving in today's topic, I'm gonna need some interaction from y'all, man. It's a simple, yeah, YouTube be hating, man. YouTube, Facebook, all of them, all the platforms, they tend to hate a lot. I done had trouble on every platform I done been on in regards to them hating on the kid, but it's all good. It's all good. But I got a simple question for you all in regards to today's topic. It's a simple question. It's the title of this video. Do you believe in karma? Do you believe that what goes around comes around 100% of the time? Is that something that you believe in? Is that something that you subscribe to? It's a simple question. I want to know where you all stand when it comes to karma. All right, Brandon Hicks says he subscribes to karma. He believes what goes around comes around 100% of the time. I need to know what everybody else thinks in regards to this, the universal law of karma. Emmanuel, we got a yes. The Underscorpion, we got a no. Got 2 yeses and a no. Sean Steve, we got it, of course, but most people don't. That's interesting, Sean, because most people that I interact with believe in karma in some way, shape, or form. I haven't came across many people that don't subscribe to it or don't believe in it in some way, shape, or form. All right, Donna C, we got a yep. We got a tricky, which means in between. All right, Brandon Hicks, you touching on pretty much what I'm gonna ask questions about. So you believe that what you put out into the universe comes back to you. I got a real deep question in regards to what you just said, because the main phrase that's associated with the law of karma is you reap what you sow. So when that is stated to me, I'm going to bring up children that are born into this world with like deformities and ailments, things that they obviously didn't ask for. Like what did that child sow in order to reap that? So if a child is born into this world with all type of deformities before, like as soon as they get into this world, they got all these type of deformities, all these ailments. What could they have possibly sown in order to reap that? Now, I know the answer to this question, but I want you all to answer that question. I know the answer to this question. I know exactly what you all would probably say, but I just want somebody to say it. I'm just going to focus on children here. I'm going to focus on the innocent child, a child that's born into this world with all type of ailments and deformities. What did they sow in order to reap that? Because again, we're going to focus on you reap what you sow. So if a child is born with deformities, like if we reap what we sow, like what did they sow to reap that? Okay, now we got rebirth. We got what did the parents put out? A lot of the times, the answer that I got when I asked this question on Facebook yesterday, it involved basically the parents or past generations passing down the karma. So that led to me asking, if we are suffering from past generations, like karma that precedes us, at what point do we begin reaping what we have sown? No, Sean, I knew the answer to the question because I asked this question on Facebook and I knew it was a common denominator in regards to the answers that I received. So I pretty much had an idea what people would say in regards to answering that question. That's what I meant by having an answer to the question. Not that I actually have the answer, but I pretty much knew what people were going to say in regards to answering that question. That's what I meant about that. But the common denominator, it revolved around past generations, whether that's rebirth, whether it's your ancestors, whether it's your grandparents or great grandparents, things of that nature. So basically, it turned into you reap what you sow. Two, you could be suffering from past generations and their karma. So again, my question was, at what point in our world, like when we are living, at what point do you begin suffering from your karma? At what point do you begin reaping what you sow or reaping what you have sown? Or we can always blame it on past generations. We can always say, because we don't know the dirt that they did, we don't know the dirt that our ancestors did. So we can always actually blame it on the past. We can always say or assume that we are suffering from the past generation's karma. How can we disprove that? How can anyone disprove that? If I'm under the impression that I am suffering from the past generation's karma, how can I disprove that? And then how does that correlate with I reap what I sow? Because I'm not really reaping what I have sown. I'm reaping what my ancestors have sown. So is the phrase you reap what you sow actually legit in regards to karma? Or are we reaping what our ancestors have sown? Like, do we live and do we suffer based off of what we do, or is what we doing laying the groundwork for the future generations? Like, that's the question that I would ask in regards to karma. Are we sowing the seeds for the next generation so they can reap what we have sown? Is that how this works? And again, I'm not on either side of it. This is just getting the mind to working. Again, I like to challenge the mind. I like to give you another way of looking at something that you may believe. Challenge the thinking, sharpen that mind up. And Ron, that's the question that I'm asking. That is the question that I'm asking. Are we living under the curse of our ancestors? Are we suffering from their karma? It's really hard to prove that, and it's really difficult to disprove that. Whose karma are we truly suffering for? Is it because of some dirt I did? Like if something so-called bad happens to me, is it because of something I did? Or is it because of something my ancestors did before me? And I'm paying the price for what they did. Now, again, I'm a firm subscriber to consequences. Like every action has a consequence and things of that nature. Now, on top of the question, on top of the questions that I did ask, making you all think, hopefully you all are thinking about it, letting it marinate, things of that nature. I'm gonna dive. No, Sean, we taking the easy way out. We already know my way might not be your way, but then we got to build on it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little dialogue. Nothing wrong with a little dialogue, exchanging beliefs. So we already know that. We already know we coming with different beliefs. Not everybody's gonna agree with what I'm saying. Not everybody is gonna agree with what Thunder Scorpion, Ronnie Ron, and anybody is saying. But that's the whole point. Healthy dialogue. We just want to get the perspectives out there. And TZ Frank, good karma. See, I'm gonna just eliminate the word karma, and I'm gonna focus on good and bad. I'm gonna focus on good and bad, because here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about that, and this can go into what Sean was saying. What's good to me? What's good to me may be evil to the next person. What's evil to the next person may be godly in another culture. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. When you look at certain cultures where we can go to the Middle East, and we can dive into the Quran and things of that nature. And we can talk about sacrificing and suicide and things of that nature, because we all know, if you know any basic knowledge in regards to like the Quran and like Islam and stuff like that, then you know it's not necessarily a negative if you kind of sacrifice yourself for your culture in that particular culture. Whereas when you take it over to the Western world, we looking at that like that is evil, that is wicked. But what's evil and wicked in our eyes is righteous and holy in their eyes. So who is right? So in our eyes, if they were to take themselves out like that, we feel like something negative or something evil is going to come back to them or their family tenfold, because that was an evil, wicked act that they conducted. But in their eyes, that was something righteous. What's going on, Beast Reincarnated? Yep, Ronnie Ron, I'm familiar with the with that verse, man, in the Bible. I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with it. What's going on, MCJ Rocker? All right, Donna C. So you believe we reap what we sow in one lifetime to the next, which you alluded to earlier. So you subscribe to reincarnation. Got you. What's going on, O'Shane? So I guess when it comes to karma, I really kind of need a solid definition of what karma actually is. Because if we go according to that phase, we reap what we sow, then I'm gonna probably have to disagree with that view of karma. Come on, Shine. Go ahead and speak your piece on here, man. I know you got more to say than that, man. I know you got more to say than that. Drop your perspective on it. No judgment zone. All right, Donna. See, that's interesting, because that kind of coincides with like Buddhism a little bit. not fully. But when I was studying Buddhism, they talked a lot about reincarnation. And basically that was like the purpose of enlightenment, was to escape that cycle of reincarnation and things of that nature. So basically the whole purpose of the enlightenment was to kind of escape that cycle. Again, the past life, I'm personally not a subscriber to it. I personally don't believe in it. I've read about it, know a lot of people that subscribe to it. I would let them answer that because I don't subscribe to it as far as the past lives, but I've read about it. Know a lot of people that subscribe to it. They can explain it better than I can. Like they can definitely describe that way better than I can because I'm not a subscriber to it. Okay, Beast Reincarnated, you think it's from the ancestors' mistakes? Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, I'm right there with you. But like I said, man, I've built with plenty of people that subscribe to it. Cool conversations. I've learned how to have conversations with people who have different views than me, and I don't doesn't necessarily have to be hostile. So I've learned how to do that. So it's all cool. So I welcome like those new perspectives and things of that nature, man. So I've had plenty of conversations with people who subscribe to past lives, future lives, and things of that nature. Like I said, I've studied Buddhism for a minute, and they definitely talk about reincarnation. All right, Montel, what you say? You say karma is usually talked about when there's Buddhism or when somebody looks deeper from your goodness or non-goodness. I don't even, but I don't think karma, I mean, it can be complicated, but I think it's a lot of holes in karma. And I feel like we tend to only bring up karma when something overly good happens or something overly bad happens. That's when karma typically comes into play. But when you analyze your life on a day-to-day, who talks about karma when you just wake up breathing? Now that's a good thing. That's a positive. That's a blessing. But who is like, this is my good karma. I woke up breathing today. You don't hear that. You don't hear that. For the most part, karma really only comes up when something like crazy happens. Somebody got shot, or you know what I'm saying, like some crazy has got to happen for somebody to actually bring up karma, and we reap what we sow. And it's something negative. Like it's a major event that has happened, and then that is when karma tends to come up. But when you analyze your life on a day-to-day basis, like we deal with duality on a day-to-day basis. I don't really even like to use the terms good and bad. Really, what's happening is good and bad. Like good and bad things are not really happening to you on a day-to-day basis. Things are happening to you on a day-to-day basis. You are experiencing things on a day-to-day basis. And we place labels on those experiences, and we label them good or bad based off of like our upbringing, based off of our culture. Because like I said, what's good to one person can be bad to the next. It all depends on how your upbringing, your culture, your way of life, what you subscribe to. So the things or the experiences that happen to you in life are not necessarily good or bad. They are just things that are happening to you, experiences. And you place that label on them. So you label the thing good or bad. Just imagine if that terminology didn't exist. And that goes back to waking up being a good thing, being subjective. That goes back to for the simple fact, if the person don't have a desire to live. Again, in our world, breathing to me, great thing. If you no longer had a desire to live, then breathing is a bad thing for you, which again goes back to my point. Nothing really is good or bad. We placed a label on it. Because to me, breathing, blessing. Like I wasn't guaranteed that next day. I wasn't guaranteed to wake up. So the fact that I'm able to wake up, I'm able to improve upon yesterday. So that's a good to me. But the person that doesn't desire to be here, waking up to them can be stressful, can be bad. But I still, in that sense, would call it a blessing because, hey, if you, and again, I don't condone that, but if you did want to take yourself out, nothing is stopping you. So obviously you have some desire to live when you continue to go to sleep and you're not like for real. So that can get deep because I know how that go. I didn't entertain the darkest of thoughts, so I know how that go. Like deep down inside you, you really do have that desire to live at times, even when you entertaining those type of thoughts. Because I bear witness to the people that no longer have the desire to live, and they are no longer here. Yeah, karma. Okay, karma can definitely pop up in certain aspects of life. Like you reap what you sow. I can get that. I can get it. Like I said, I'm more so because again, I'm not about to because it's under like little underrated aspects of life where people sleep on in regards to karma. Like it's a bunch of things that people don't even think about. And I'm gonna even go back to like veganism and things of that nature. Even the Buddhists talked about this. I read a book about like a monk, man, because you know the Buddhists, they subscribe to karma heavenly, and they subscribe to reincarnation heavenly. I know a bunch of monks, they won't go as far as to kill a bug because they believe that karma will come back on them. They may get reincarnated as that insect or that bug that they killed. So I've read some books about some monks that subscribe to reincarnation to the point and karma to the point where they will not kill a bug. And that's why they don't eat meat and things of that nature, because they subscribe to that. They subscribe to what goes around comes around. So they believe if they consume that animal that was slaughtered and killed for their pleasure, that's going to negatively impact them in the future or negatively impact their family. And I don't think a lot of people that may subscribe to karma even think about that. Like, just think about that. If you subscribe to karma and you consuming a piece of meat, an animal that was slaughtered for your pleasure, what does that mean will happen to you? What type of karma will come back on you for that? If you really subscribe to karma and think about it, it may be minute, it may be small to you, but that little insect, that little bug that wasn't bothering you, that you just felt the need to step on, what does that lead to? When it comes to karma, are certain things off limits, like it's killing insects off limits, eating an animal, is that off limits? Like that doesn't result in anything being returned to you? What all does karma apply to? Does it revolve around what you eat, how you interact with others? What does it all revolve around? But like I said, I read a book about a month. Like the dude wouldn't go as far as to kill but like if a bug was like he will not kill the bug. If he saw a spider, he is not killing the spider. He's not killing it. It's a book I read about Buddhism, like because they subscribe to that stuff so heavy, they not killing anything. Yeah, Sean, most definitely. That most definitely happens. That most definitely happens a lot. I bear witness to that a lot. Thunder Scorpion, great question again, which is basically what I'm hitting at. But if you, yep, Dynasty, all within you. But yeah, Thunder Scorpion, I can almost answer that question for you in regards to the interactions that I've had with people that subscribe to it. I can even go back to the Buddhists because, like I said, I study Buddhism. So they would tell you, they would tell you those animals, like they'll go back to past lives. And like I said about the guy that wouldn't kill animals. So basically, the person that maybe the person that ate the pig years before, got reincarnated as a pig. So that was that karma. So depending on how you live your life while you were on this earth, like you will get reincarnated as that animal. So the answer, according to them, would be yes. Based off of, like I said, based off of the interactions and the conversations that I've had, based off of the research that I've done in regards to like Buddhism. Yeah, karma is definitely subjective. But like I said, in certain instances, I can get it. In certain instances, I can get the basis of like what karma is trying to convey. I can definitely understand it, because just on a physical standpoint, I can go back to what I do as a trainer. It's like, man, if you eat certain foods, like if you eat toxic foods, that will create a toxic inner environment for you, which will become a breeding ground for all type of diseases. Opposed to if you eat healthy foods, if you eat positive foods or electric foods, whatever you want to call them, then your chances of getting that disease are low, or lower, way lower. So you get out what you put into it on that level. So I can get the basis of what karma is trying to convey. But just for me living my life, man, and again, it goes back to like everything being kind of subjective, man, because going off of you reap what you sow type deal, one of the main reasons why I came up with a lot of the questions that I have in regards to karma, man, because I've witnessed, and this is just, again, I'm not going to go off good or bad, because like I said, man, we just place those labels on things, but like things happen to people. But I've witnessed some people, and I'm gonna just use the term like helpful. Like I've really witnessed people that were real helpful, generous, kind, joyful, all of those positive descriptive words. I've had to witness a lot of people like that go down tragically, had to endure a lot of suffering. And I just would ask myself, that's when I would start to question karma and things of that nature. Man, I've witnessed a lot of people living like that, man, go through life, and it seemed like they never really, in my eyes, got rewarded for the so-called good that they were doing. But again, it's all subjective. Like they could have been very much so pleased with life. The Scorpion said that's a good question. that's a good question. And that's where I go with it. And I ask a lot of questions. That's the best way for me to get my understanding. Gotta ask a lot of questions. Gotta ask a lot of questions. Like when it comes to the whole topic of karma, like I said, man, I just got a lot of questions. Yeah, Sean, and like I said, with the eating healthy example, I deal with mathematics, and I deal with probability, like statistics. So basically, what is being said, like when you go plant-based, vegan, or whatever the case may be, when you eat healthy, what's happening is, mathematically speaking, that just lowers your chances of attaining cancer. Doesn't mean it doesn't 100% eliminate your chances. It just minimizes your chances of getting the cancer, opposed to other ways of eating. So that's all that's being said when you eat healthy. And that's just mathematically speaking. Again, nothing is 100%. So when you eat healthy, you just minimize the risk of you attaining cancer and any other type of ailment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you will not get it, because there are other factors in play in regards to you or any other type of ailment. So it's all mathematics at that point. It's a percentage game. And yeah, Cynthia, what you put out to the universe will come back to you. I can see that because at the end of the day, it's all about perception. It's all about perception. So at the end of the day, we can easily kind of justify or rationalize that perspective or that view. So I can see that. But again, I think when it comes to karma, I think the small aspects of living are overlooked. Like I said, in regards to the things that we eat, was something harmed? Like if you look at your plate, was something on this plate harmed or slaughtered in order for me to have this meal? See, we'll overlook little small things like that. So it's a lot of times when people go through life and these so-called bad things, the things they view as bad or unfavorable, continues to happen on them. And on the surface, they believe they are this good person. But it may be the small things, like the fact that you are eating something that was slaughtered on that plate. That may be the reason why a lot of trauma is continuing to come to your life. And you may be overlooking that. You may be overlooking that. So I think it's a lot of small things in life that we overlook that can contribute to the unfavorable circumstances that occur to us on a day-to-day basis, that we claim to not understand why they are occurring to us. Again, we like to focus on the major events, the things that stick out in life. We don't pay attention. We don't, the small things that happen to us don't stick as much as those major things. We don't overly focus on the micro. We overly focus on the macro. Like I said, like that big life event, like somebody passing away, somebody getting shot, somebody having a car accident, being paralyzed, things like that. Those are the things that stick out to us. Those are the things that we overly focus on. We don't focus on the small thing. We don't focus on that little bug that we stepped on. We didn't forgot we did that. That could result in some bad energy coming your way. But you didn't forgot you did that. We may have forgotten about the little attitude that we got when somebody cut us off. Like that anger that we dished out. We may have forgotten about that. That's not going to stick with us. That's going to happen and we're going to keep moving. But that may be the cause of something negative that comes your way. But we'll forget about that though. Little small stuff. We forget about it. The little split second where you woke up and you just had that negative thought and it kind of left you. Like that can be the cause of something traumatizing happening in your future. But we overlook that. We overlook that. We try to connect major events. So if something major happens to you, like if your house was broken into, then you're going to try to find another major event that was negative and try to loop them together. Say, well, somebody broke into my house because 5 years ago, I talked bad to my moms. So now you're trying to connect those dots. When in reality, you really can't pinpoint why something so-called negative is happening to you. You can't connect them. You can't connect. You can't say the reason why this happened is because this happened 5 or 10 years ago. You literally can't do that. So it's hard to do that. It's hard to connect the dots. But that's what we tend to do, because I've been around people trying to figure out why certain things are going their way. And they always go back to like major events instead of focusing on the small day-to-day things. The small day-to-day things. That is the stuff that you need to focus on. Yeah, beasts reincarnated according to the stuff that I've studied and the people that I've talked to. Yes, animals can have karma. People really sleep on the intelligence of animals. Like people sleep on the fact that animals have feelings, emotions, and they have intelligence. People actually really sleep on animals. Like we are merely animals, but we don't want to have that discussion though. Like people got this impression that like animals are just like if you place a label on somebody and call them an animal, like that's an insult. But people, it's some things that certain animals can do that we can't fathom doing. It's certain things I heard that some animals can do that we cannot fathom doing. But when you label a so-called human as an animal, that's an insult to them. Now, I embrace animals. I study animals, man. We more connected to animals than y'all know and think. Yeah, Macro J Bo, I'm with you. What's going on, Kobe? But I think we need to start appreciating animals a little bit more. And this is not on it's not on no vegan tip, man. This is just me studying animals, me studying things like evolution and things of that nature, man. Just me really studying animals, man. Like animals don't get enough credit. Animals don't get enough credit at all for their like existence. But a lot of, like I said, a lot of people, we overlook that. We overlook it. Yeah, Kobe the Dragon, nothing wrong with it, man. Embrace the animal. Embrace the animal, man. Embrace the animal in you. Again, that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It is what it is. We can learn a lot by studying animals, man. Like when you like you can literally learn a lot just by studying the animal kingdom. Matter of fact, these scientists and all of that, they know that. That's why they conduct a lot of their experiments on animals. They conduct a lot of their experiments in regards to like diet, nutrition, all that type of stuff, man. They conduct a lot of most of their studies on animals. They'll tell you we study the effect of cheese on a rat, and then they're gonna give it to you. Because I'm telling you, that's what they do. I don't have any animals either, Sean, but like I'm a fan of like dogs, man. So I get my situation together, you're gonna see me with some pit bulls. Yes, sir, Montel. Animals play a part in our culture. They are our culture. They are a part of it. Yeah, Donna, see, you already know I'm with the power of the mind. You already know it. But an aspect of that a lot of people sleep on is the subconscious aspect of living. The subconscious mind, like we sleep on that. We like to focus on the surface, focus on that conscious mind. That subconscious mind really has the power. That's what you really need to program if you want to manifest certain things. That subconscious mind holds all the power, holds all the keys, and we tend to sleep on that. That's another thing that we sleep on. We sleep on animals, and we sleep on that subconscious mind, that subconscious aspect of living. If that subconscious aspect didn't exist, like your heart would stop beating. Like you don't consciously focus on your heart beating. It just does it. That's subconscious. Like you just breathing. You don't consciously focus on you breathing. That's subconscious. If that subconscious aspect or part of ourselves didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. That's more powerful than that conscious. That subconscious controls that conscious. That's why, again, and this may be another video that I will have to dive into, but this is why the media do what they do in regards to preying on that subconscious mind. They program that subconscious mind to the point where we think we consciously making decisions based off of things that we want. We think we want these things, but they have programmed us subconsciously to desire these things. So they sending all those subliminal messages through the TV screen, through the phones, to the point where we looking at it on a conscious level and think that we actually made the decision to go purchase this particular brand. Nah, that was programming, subliminal messaging. They made you feel like you needed that particular brand. They created that desire in that subconscious mind through subliminal messaging. All of these corporations, they don't prey on your conscious mind. They prey on that subconscious mind. Subliminal messaging is a mug, bro. That's why it's important to pay attention to what you consume as far as like media is concerned. Because people used to sleep on it. I know this may sound corny. It may sound like I'm getting back into the Illuminati days, man. But it was like those messages in the songs when you play the songs backwards, man. That was real rap. That wasn't no gimmick, man. That was real. Certain songs you play them backwards, you hear a totally different message. And then we can even get into like when you watch certain movies, man, and just the layout of the movie, man, certain scenes like the checkerboard floors and things like that that's impacting you subconsciously. Like consciously, you looking at it and you like that's insignificant. Or you just write it off all like that's just a checker floor, but your subconscious mind is registering it totally different. And that's what they want. So we gotta understand the power of that subconscious mind. Like I said, I might have to do a video on that, man, because that's gonna go back into the days when I was studying like Professor Griff, man, Illuminati and little stuff like that. Stuff was deep, man, but a lot of people just write it off, call you conspiracy theorists and things of that nature. Well, funny that a lot of those people, a lot of those videos where people were labeled conspiracy theorists, a lot of those videos you can't find them to this day. You look, you go on YouTube and try to find those videos that were out 10 plus years ago when they was breaking down subliminal messaging and things like that, when people wanted to call them quacks, conspiracy theorists and all that, can't find them. It's a reason why you can't find them. And the reason is not because of what they were saying was fiction. That's not the reason why you can't find those videos. Yeah, the underlying message. And that's what a lot of people, that's why I always tell people to look beyond the surface. Because the surface level is one thing. But like they say, read in between those lines. That's when you get to the actual meaning. That's when you get to the actual content, when you read in between those lines, when you look beyond the surface. Now the truth is starting to reveal itself. So like I said, man, I might have to do some videos running that stuff back, man. But again, we already know how that go. A video like that may last about a year and then they get hold of it and delete it. But that stuff is it was real then and it's still real to this day. Programming, the subconscious programming, the subliminal messaging is real. Is real. And it's not just in like the media in regards to like music and things of that nature, like the food industry, that subliminal messaging. I mean, I can go back because like I said, I got my degree in marketing, man. They gonna utilize certain color schemes to prey on the subconscious mind. So you may think, oh, that's just red, but like subconsciously it's registering as a feeling or as an emotion. And you have no idea consciously that that's what's going on, to the point now you gravitating toward this particular food because of the coloring on the wrapper. And you think that you just want this food. Nah, subconsciously, like you were kind of tricked or deceived into craving that particular food or desiring that particular food item because of like the color of the wrapper. Simple stuff like that. And this is stuff that actually happens. Like I said, me studying marketing, like corporations and businesses actually do this. They actually do this. This is like no fiction. When they are marketing products, when they are marketing services, man, they think about the color scheme. They think about certain sounds, vibrations, frequencies, all of that stuff that we gonna write off. We're not gonna pay attention to consciously, but it's definitely impacting or persuading our decision, and we have no idea unless you are consciously aware of like what's really going on. And for the most part, most people are not, because we walking around in that zombie-like state. So a lot of people don't have any idea of what's actually going on. Hence why they are able to deceive so many people and get them to gravitate towards what's actually bad for them. And these people have no idea why. Yeah, Beast Reincarnated. I don't even want to get into voting. I don't subscribe to voting at all. And I have been called part of the problem. I have been called a conspiracy theorist. But what killed me is when they really call me a part of the problem, because I choose not to, because I don't want to choose between the lesser of two evils. It's almost like if you had the option, if you had A, B, and C. Option A, do you want to die by a gunshot to the head? Option B, do you want to die by a knife to the heart, to the chest? Or C, do you want to live? It's like people act like they don't have that C option. I want to live. They feel like they got to choose between A and B. Which way do you want to die? Like, no, you have another option. I don't have to choose between the lesser of two evils when I got a whole other option that involves me living my life to the best of my abilities. So voting is interesting, man. Voting is interesting. Like voting is interesting, man. And you can do an experiment, man. If you got like any social media, I guarantee if you ask people which way do they prefer to die, I guarantee you they'll like answer that question. Nobody will really question it. If you say, all right, you want to get shot in the head or you want to get stabbed in the chest or the heart, people gonna choose. What I'm looking at, like, man, I don't want to choose between those, man. I don't want to think about dying like that. People won't think about that. Most of the people gonna actually vote between A or B. I'd rather get shot in the head. No, I'd rather get, like, people will legit debate about those two options. That's the state that we are in. That's what voting does. I guarantee you, if you ask people A or B, shot in the head, stabbed in the heart, I guarantee you they're gonna choose. They're gonna feel like they forced to choose between A or B, not realizing they have an option not to answer. Macro J-Bo, yes, I have. I got a few books on neuro-linguistic programming. I got a few books on it. Stuff is powerful. Stuff is powerful. I got a few books on that. That helped me kind of better understand psychology and how the mind works when I read those books. Yeah, that's basically what a conspiracy theorist is to me. Somebody that just thinks outside the box, not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to question popular opinion. Yeah, Donna C dropped the jewel up there. She dropped the jewel. Screenshot it. And that's what I tell people, man. I vote for myself. I vote for self. I keep it real with people, man. I'm gonna go back on Donald Trump. I don't care for any other people, man. I don't care for any of them. All the presidents really done been sure they ain't nothing but mascots at the end of the day. They don't really hold any true power. But my question to a lot of people is, how did your life drastically change with Donald Trump being president? And Thunder Scorpion, the crazy thing about that, when people say the ancestors died so you can vote, that's not why our ancestors died. Our ancestors were murdered. Our ancestors died because people hated them. They were murdered. They didn't just die, they were murdered. They were murdered because the system is racist. They were murdered because a group of people were envious of the true power of our ancestors. They were murdered. They didn't die for our right to vote. They were murdered. Yep, and that's what I said in the previous video. Presidents are selected, not elected at all. But like I said, I asked that question. Like I said, don't get it twisted as me being a Donald Trump supporter. Like I said, I don't care for any president that has ever existed, and that includes Obama. I don't care for any of them, man, because they really don't have any power. They, like I said, nothing but a mascot. But how did people act like their life has really been crazy ever since Donald Trump became president? And to my understanding, a lot of these people that say that, I mean, they are living the same exact life that they were living when Obama was president. Got the same job, got the same problems. I mean, it's really no different. It's just the fact that you just don't like Donald Trump. Like, Obama really didn't do nothing for us if you really want to talk about it, man. But a lot of people don't want to do that because he was black. So not even going to go there. But one of the first things he did, he started bombing African countries and things of that nature. That's one of the first things he started to do. Or that was one of the first things that occurred under his presidency. But again, they don't want to talk about that. Hey, if I get banned from YouTube, so what? Sometimes I can't hold it in. I try to be I try to be PG for YouTube, but I can't do it. It ain't in my nature, man. It's like it ain't in my nature to conceal the truth. I got other platforms that I had to get people to gravitate towards, man, but I'm gonna let it out. The truth needs to come out. I'm gonna let it out. Yeah, they definitely want us to believe our vote really counts. And like I said, even when they gave us, I mean, what's the major difference? I mean, people just really making Donald Trump to be a boogeyman. What's the difference between Donald Trump and George Bush? George Bush Jr. and Sr., Bill Clinton. They're all black folks love Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was trash, man. Bill Clinton ain't care for black folks. Bill Clinton was out here, the same stuff that they didn't accuse R. Kelly of doing, Bill Clinton was doing that. I got a whole book on that called Clinton's War on Women. Him and Hillary was in on it. And people was out here siding with Hillary. Man, Hillary got a Hillary's past might be as trash. No, maybe worse. No, it ain't maybe. It was a lot worse than Donald Trump's past. Man, Hillary has a trash past. And people were out here like siding with Hillary. I'm like, y'all really have not done the knowledge to Hillary Clinton nor Bill Clinton. Boy, they are trash. Their history is garbage. Bill Clinton was out here molesting these young girls, and Hillary Clinton was out there giving them hush money, saying you bet not say nothing, because if you say something because of what we trying to establish here, this is what's going to happen to you. So you better take this hush money, and we better not hear nothing about it. It's a whole book. You can Amazon that book, Clinton's War on Women. Man, do the knowledge to that book and see how wicked Bill and Hillary really are and were. So that's stuff that they don't want to talk about it. But we had all these black folks simply because they made Donald Trump to be the boogeyman. We had all these black folks like, oh, you better vote for Hillary. Man, I'm not voting for her. And if you knew her history, you wouldn't want to vote for her. You wouldn't want to side with somebody as wicked as her. I mean, it is what it is. Yep. Tore up Haiti. Obama ain't do nothing. I'm sorry. I don't care, man. A lot of black, they can revoke. They can take away my black card, man, but I don't care for Obama like that. I might be one of the only few black people that when Obama get on the screen, I don't really care. I may change the channel. I don't really care to hear nothing that dude got to say. People just like dude, man. They just like his personality. But he didn't really do nothing for you. Your life wasn't saying you was going through the same struggles when Obama, the police was out here slaughtering us and killing us when Obama was president. That wasn't changing. We ain't just started getting killed by the cops when Donald Trump became president. Man, all this stuff was happening when Obama was in office too. So I don't know why people act like all of a sudden racism became more overt because Donald Trump was in office. Man, I had problems. I had racism problems pre-Donald Trump. So I don't know where everybody thought this came from. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like, oh no, yeah, racism been here, but it's more overt now that Donald Trump is in office. Nah, son. Yep, they all kind of semi help the alphabet group in one way, shape, or form. And Thunder Scorpion on the local level, I can understand people that support voting on the local level, but I have just witnessed something here personally in St. Louis where they put a guy in the office who the fans were behind, black guy. They put him in the office, thought that he was going to really make some changes in regards to the Mike Brown case, but that didn't happen. He was not able to reopen the investigation on that case. Why wasn't he able to do that? Because again, he has no true power. It was some powerful people that told him, listen, you better stick to this script, because if you go against this script, this will happen to you and this will happen to your family. So he had to say, look, we can't reopen the investigation of this Mike Brown case. Just can't do it. And a lot of people that supported him talked about how uneasy he looked on the stand when he made that statement, when he made that announcement. I'm like, you doggone right, he was uneasy. He may not have wanted to make that statement, but it was some powerful people that told him he better say this and he better do this, because if he don't, that's going to cost him his life. So he took the orders. He took the orders because anybody in their right mind would have reopened that Mike Brown case, man, because we already know that was some garbage. Anybody in your right mind, if you in a position like that, man, that's a no-brainer to reopen that case, man. No-brainer. He was taking, or he had some orders, man. He had some people that told him, listen, you better not do it. You better not do it, because if you do it, not only will you suffer, but your family will suffer. And this is the stuff that they do. Those are the threats that they make. So that's why he had to come out and say it. All them people that supported him, man, they literally were voting for him or backing him because they thought he was going to do things like that. He was going to bring justice to the people that deserved it and things of that nature. He wasn't able to do it. And he looked real uncomfortable making the announcement. So you can already tell there was some people in his ear, some powerful people in his ear that made that threat. And this ain't nothing that I'm making up, man. You can go study your ancestors. They all tell you about these powerful people, the powers that be. You can study my man Fred Hampton, and you can see how they navigated his assassination, man, how they infiltrated the movement. How somebody within the Black Panther Party gave him the layout to my man's apartment, and that's how he was able to get murdered by the FBI. So that's stuff that they don't want to talk about. Again, they try to clean you up on YouTube. They don't really want you coming with this type of information, but it is what it is. I'm gonna come with the information. Because like I said, they striving to suppress it, man, but we can't allow that to happen. Yep, Obama been all that. Listen, this is the thing about Donald Trump. This is what I'm gonna say about Donald Trump. Again, like I said, this ain't me backing Donald Trump saying I'm a Donald Trump supporter, I'm voting for Trump. This ain't what I'm saying. But this is the crazy thing about before Donald Trump got into office, you can go back and listen to a lot of your favorite hip-hop artists. And you're gonna find references of Donald Trump on that Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a major influence from an entrepreneurial standpoint, from a business standpoint. Even me getting my business degree, like you studied Donald Trump. Now, of course, he inherited a lot of his wealth, man, but a lot of the stuff that he taught, he wrote books and all of that. A lot of his books were like blueprints in regards to people who wanted to build massive wealth. I'm gonna go back to one of the brothers that I look up to, Master P. I read Master P's book, Guaranteed Success. My man's Master P. That was one of his major influences, Donald Trump. That was before he was the president. You read Master P's book, man, and Master P gonna tell you flat out in that book that one of his major influences in regards to the moves that he made was Donald Trump. What people don't understand is Donald Trump is a fool, man. Donald Trump is a businessman. He deals with marketing. So a lot of the stuff that he is doing is for attention, for like views, man, like all of that, man. He's basically the reason why the way he set himself apart in regards to like this whole campaign, because he used social media, business 101. Like he used social media to his advantage. He be on Instagram. He be on Twitter more than anybody his age should be on there. It's all marketing. Donald Trump know what he's doing. Branding. He's branding himself. That's all it is. It's a popularity contest. And he utilized social media to his benefit. Whether we like it or not, whether we like him or not, like that's what he did. Yeah, the story about Fred Hampton is crazy, man. Y'all giving me ideas for like videos, man. I might want to do a video just breaking down what really happened to Fred Hampton, man. It was just crazy. It was crazy just breaking down what happened to Fred Hampton, man. What happened to Marcus Garvey? All of this stuff was just crazy, man. We can even go back to Pac, man, and all that. Yeah, macro, like I said, don't get it twisted like I fool with Donald Trump. I'm just saying what it is. Before dude became what he is, a lot of people looked up to that. They wanted that Donald Trump money. What Nelly say? Because I'm in St. Louis. Bill Gates, Donald Trump let me in now. That's what Nelly was talking about. He wanted Donald Trump to let him in. He wanted that Donald Trump money. He wanted that Bill Gates money. Bill Gates trash too, but he wanted that Donald Trump, Bill Gates money. He said, let me in now. That was the song. We were singing along to that. We were singing along to that. Yeah, Trump did. Yeah, it was a mixture of that and him just, like I said, doing the marketing, popularity contest. He knew what it was and knew what it is. But man, y'all giving me, man, y'all making me, y'all bringing that back. When I was on Facebook, my name was Illuminati Bell. I used to go in on it. Man, because again, like Pac is my role model, man, and It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I used to go in on the system and a lot of things like that. And a lot of that stuff, man, it'll get you on that list to where you'll be getting those strange inboxes from them interesting profiles telling you need to be careful of what you say. You need to watch what you say. I done got all those type of threats. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion. Hey, and you deserve to live like that, man. Yep, Sean. Like I said, that was the anthem here in St. Louis. We was all talking about Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in. If you don't remember no part of that song, you remember that. Yeah, the Robert Burns, yes, sir. Montel, I won't even say Trump caused a lot of black people to wake up. Again, we giving Donald Trump too much credit. George Bush was just as garbage. It was a lot of the same stuff that's being said about Donald Trump was said about George Bush. Don't even get me started on 9/11 and that whole ordeal. When Bush already knew that the towers were about to be knocked down, we ain't even about to get into that. But that was waking a lot of people up at that particular point. So I'm not about to give Donald Trump all that credit. Because again, George Bush was mad. George Bush was wicked. George Bush Jr., Sr., wicked. Bill Clinton, wicked. Ronald Reagan, them wicked. Like, man, I mean, you could just go down the line, man. These dudes, man, these puppets really just, come on. Definitely a false flag, man. Definitely. I used to go hard on it, man. What was that? I forgot the video on that, man. It was like a little 2-hour, 3-hour video, man. Something that had deception in the title. I forgot what, like, oh no. Yeah, that was the documentary back in the day. That was the documentary back in the day, man. The Obama deception. Like, you probably can't find that now, man. But that mug was dropping all type of jewels on it. Yep, that's just the nature of my lives. Like, I'm gonna start off talking about one thing, and then it's gonna end with something crazy. But it's all love, though. I'm pretty sure people appreciate it. Diversity. We can go from talking about karma about 40 minutes, then end it talking about politics. Because that's gonna lead to me creating another video tomorrow talking about something political. But you know, it's all good. Yeah, Zeitgeist, I seen that, but it was the Obama deception. That's the one that I'm talking about. That mode was like 2-3 hours long. Yeah, Wise Intelligent, man. Shout out to Wise Intelligent and the Poor Righteous Teachers, man. Like, people underrated lyricists, man. Shout out to them. He had a lot of little joints back in the day, man. Like, he had a lot of little joints back in the day that was kind of waking me up, man. That was another part of my awakening, man. I was listening to a lot of music, man. A lot of Immortal Technique, Poor Righteous Teachers, guy by the name of Paris, K Reno, Killer Priest, Hellraiser. These, man, I was listening to a lot of these cats, man. They was dropping all type of information. They was dropping all types of information, man. Brothers was waking me up, man. So music and books, like hip hop and books, had a lot to do with my awakening. And Beach reincarnated. Now, I mean, it's about to be a silly question, but you talking about like jobs, like corporate America type jobs, or Steve Jobs? Gotta ask that, because I could go off into a tangent and I can interpret that wrong. You know the FDA, man. You know they want to keep us in that unhealthy state. Yeah, vaccines trash. That man, y'all making me dive into a lot of stuff, man. Like I said, last video we talked about AIDS. We already know that's something they told you can't cure. We cracked that code, got the evidence, got the books for that. I'm gonna definitely do some on vaccines and showing and proving how trash they are, because you got a lot of individuals out here that's actually pro-vaccine, and they are actually against holistic medicine. Like, they actually laughing at people that say I'm gonna deal with herbs and I'm gonna just eat right in order to prevent and reverse disease, they actually laughing at that, and they saying vaccines are a step in the right direction. They are saying vaccines are above natural remedies, holistic remedies. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, because somebody straight up said, I saw a comment where a brother legit said people are out here taking herbs and eating healthy and dying from the COVID. He said that as if, because this was under a post about somebody who is co-signing vaccines and pushing for a coronavirus COVID vaccine. He said that as if nobody on the planet has ever had any adverse reaction to a vaccine. He's talking as if nobody on the planet has ever died at the hands of that adverse reaction from a vaccine. Man, we got too many cases of autism and things like that being linked to vaccines. So for the brother to say that, I was like, crazy. Oh, beast reincarnated. I'm not a fan. Like, if you can get out of corporate America, I'm definitely for it. I had to do it, make my sacrifice. But even if you in it, man, you should always use corporate America to further like your own personal agenda, man. But we should all be striving to be self-sufficient. Period. And I don't want to hear that not all of us were, designed to be bosses and things like that, man. There's ways to be self-sufficient outside of being a boss, outside of being self-employed. We all deserve that type of freedom. Of course, you're going to have your people that are workers out here. Of course, you need your workers. But I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to you, the select few. Yes, sir, Kobe. That's why I said, man, like the book I mentioned my last live, man, that dude had to move out of the country once he realized the cure for AIDS was simple and he started teaching it. Had to move out the country. And he talked about other clinics that these doctors started banning those doctors from practicing in the US because they were claiming to have cures for AIDS and whatnot. So they had to go out of the country and open clinics. So that's why you will see a lot of holistic doctors with clinics and practices outside of the US. The US will ban you if they find out that's what you want. Yeah, hey Sean, we all over the place, but like I said, that's the nature of that's how versatile my mind is, and we can get. I can go from talking about karma to religion to science to politics to math to eating right to weightlifting. Man, I ain't even telling what I can talk about. But I think that's what separates me from a lot of people, because I'm able to transition into a wide array of topics and kind of connect the dots. So you almost getting your one-stop shop when you come into this channel, man, because we gonna talk about a lot of things, man. We gonna talk about a lot of things. We gonna talk about a lot of things. There's no telling what it ain't no telling what I'm gonna talk about. And I guarantee you, when I'm talking about it, I'm gonna quote some books, I'm gonna quote some references. So it ain't gonna be me just making stuff up. I definitely got my documents, definitely got my sources. I study everything. Like the acronym says, I study life around me. I study everything. So that's how my mind works. Yeah, Gay should be locked up, but we know he ain't gonna get locked up. Shoot, he owned most of the prisons probably. Yeah, for the most part, the vaccines actually has the virus that it is that they try and prevent for the most part, which is their theory behind it. Kind of exposing you to the virus makes you immune to it. And that's for some vaccines. Not all of them have that. But for the most part, I kind of find it crazy how we blindly trust them. Like we blindly trust that whatever it is that they sticking into us is for the greater good. Like we don't know what they really sticking into us, and that's crazy. Yep, Dr. Sebi, man. Like I said, even who Dr. Sebi was studying, the mucusless healing system, the mucusless diet, like man, they was out here curing it, man. They was out here curing everything, man. And it was simple. It was simple. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we know why this is, man. But like, you make videos out here and you talking about like cure for AIDS, like, and it legit makes sense. They abandon that video. They'll call that video offensive. But then on the flip side, it could be somebody out here encouraging you to eat all type of garbage, and that video will stand the test of time, and it'll stay up. You can have videos out here encouraging your kids to eat all the candy on the planet, setting them up for all type of diabetes, heart disease, all that type of stuff. Those videos will never get challenged, taken off the air, taken off YouTube, none of that. But you make a video talking about a cure for AIDS, something that can actually help people, that video is gone. That video offended somebody. So I find that interesting. I find that very interesting. Because it's a lot of BS on the web, man. It's a lot of that. Yeah, Macro, I'm actually with you on that view. That's an underrated view. I'm with you on that. Because we need soldiers. That's another reason why we are not in a certain position, because we don't have that military. I'm gonna go back to Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam now for a minute, man. One of the reasons why they the rated they are, man, the FOI, man, they don't play around. I know some of them personally. Like, we need that on a collective scale. We need that. We need that on a collective. We need an army. We need soldiers. We need people really willing to die for the cause. Like, their whole purpose is to die for the cause. Like, we need those type of individuals, flat out. We don't get that, then we'll always be in this position. That's one thing that we lack, that we need. We can build up all the economic wealth that we want, as we have seen with the Black Wall Streets, Rosewood, Move. That's another underrated one, Move. I don't know if y'all heard about Move, but we done had our own cities, man. But what happens? They burn them down because we don't have a strong military. We don't have it. They always overpower us when it comes to that. That's how they're able to conquer us when we do build these black neighborhoods. What's going on, D-Mans? What's going on? Yeah, Beast Reincarnated. Even if they ask for the chemical list, they're gonna look at the chemical list and they're not gonna ask any questions in regards to the chemicals. They're just gonna look at it and be like, oh, this must be legit because it sounds chemical. Long as it sounds like it makes sense to them, people gonna be all right and they're gonna swallow it and they're gonna take it. Yeah, the prison system is definitely big business. And they gotta meet their quotas. So they always striving to lock us up. So they gotta create the criminal. That's why a brother such as myself, it's a criminal image attached to a person such as myself. They gotta create the criminal. They gotta make you believe you a criminal before you are even a criminal. So you didn't accept their reality way before you went out there and did criminal acts. You have accepted their reality for yourself based off of how they portray people that look like you. So that's how they create criminals. They give you these images of people that look just like you. And they make you believe that the people who look just like you, they do criminal things. So you start accepting their reality on a subconscious level. So when you grow up, it's automatic. That's why we had the chaos that we have now. People don't understand the deep science that goes behind that. They think we just out here savages. That they just think we out here with no home training. Man, a lot of this is programming. A lot of this was planned. A lot of this was constructed, like the projects. That's why it's called a project. We don't walk around just calling them a project or the projects for nothing. Look at the word project, man. You know what a project is. Experiment. What's going on, Steven? Yeah, Macro, that's how you got to do it. I'm with it on it. All right, the more is black. I'm gonna need for the people that subscribe to Carmen to answer that. Yeah, the swoop that sat by the door. Yep. Yeah, they raising the crazy one on us, man. Like, as they say, universe is mental. It's all mental. They got our minds locked up, shackled. They got our minds right where they want them. Yeah, most definitely, Sean. I already know how I go, man. But at the end of the day, you just got to accept that reality when you come across that information. It's a reason why you came across that certain type of information. And the reason why you came across that information was not just to sit on it. If you sit on that information, it's going to drive you crazy. You got to bring the truth to the light. It's your responsibility. When I came across that information, I realized it was my responsibility to disseminate that information and make sure other people get this information, not just for me to sit on it. That wasn't the purpose. That wasn't the reason. So with that being said, I can't be afraid to disseminate that information. I got to let the information out. I got to get the information to as many people as I can, because that's the reason why I'm coming across that information. So you just got to kind of accept that, man. Like Malcolm X said, he lived his life like he was already dead. He already knew what was going to happen to him. He already knew it. Oh yeah, most definitely. COVID plan, but people don't want to. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how the coronavirus was probably constructed in the lab and how it's being injected in folks. They don't want to talk about that. But with that being said, man, I done got the building on some of everything, man. I got some people that I gotta go train, gotta go kill them. You know how that go. So I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Like I said, I'm gonna probably be going live again tomorrow. Who knows what the topic may be, man? But I'm pretty sure y'all appreciate how I be coming to y'all, man, in regards to the information. So we may start off on one topic. It's gonna last 30, 40 minutes. Then we gonna dive off on the deep end and talk about something else, man. That's the way that this works. If y'all appreciate, if y'all like it, I love it. If not, I can change it up, man. But I feel like these dialogues be going pretty good, pretty solid. It's things that got to be addressed that I feel like a lot of people not addressing. Feel like a lot of things not being addressed that people are afraid to address. I ain't afraid to address a lot of stuff, man. I've been doing it for a minute, and it is what it is. I'm not really afraid to address a lot of things. I feel like it's needed. Feel like it's necessary. YouTube got a problem with it, man. It is what it is. I got other platforms. I got websites created. I just maneuver and go over to the websites. It's other ways. It's other platforms. But we gonna get this truth out, man. The truth comes in many layers, man. It's a lot of different layers and topics that we got to touch on in regards to the truth. Like I said, from what we eating, to what we watching, to what we listen to what we reading, all of that, man. To the medical industry, all of that, man. It's just so much to touch on, so much to touch on, man. And in a way, it's all connected. It's all connected, just like all of us. Like in a way, it's all interconnected. So while it may seem like it's off topic, it's actually relevant. The paradox, the world that we live in. Yes, sir. Beast Reincarnated. Got my own gym, man. I got my own gym. I got apparel, write books, all of that. Then I'm doing this. I'm about to start taking my speaking on the road. I'm about to construct my first speaking engagement, man. That should be I should be conducting that probably within the next 2 months or so. But I'm about to take public speaking on the road, man. We about to do the thing, man. We about to do it. But I got several endeavors, man. But my main thing right now is my gym. But I left corporate America, man, like almost about a month ago. Yeah, down to see, man. I've been talking. It was crazy. I remember sending my moms an email about food shortages when I was in college, man. So this was like almost 10 years ago. Talking about the expected food shortage, and it gave us at that time, it was about 5 to 10 years from now. Lo and behold, it's about 5 to 10 years from now. Here we are. But I remember sending my mom an article about food shortages way back when, about 10 years ago. And I was racking up on canned goods. I had a survival kit, man, which I need to get back on that. I was loading up on straight up canned goods, man. You know, little pocket knives, machetes, little stuff like that. I was loading up on it, man, because I was ready. And that's another thing that you do not need to sleep on, getting your survival kit ready, man. Get you some canned goods, man. Get you some stuff that if you had to be out in nature and survive, man, get all that. Because you never know. But I still, to this day, if I go to my people's crib, them canned goods that I had then, they still there. I had canned goods. I was ready. Tony Briscoe, I've been vegan, man. It's almost been about a year, man. But I've been without meat for about 10 plus. So I was like vegetarian. I go on and off vegetarian veganism. Stack up on it all. But like I said, y'all, man, I got stuff I gotta go do, man. Gotta go put these people through these brutal sessions. Y'all be easy out here, man. Y'all stay peaceful. Build on that positive, destroy the negative. Y'all know how I go. One love, y'all. I'm out. Peace.